This is John Lauder, host of The Cheap Seats. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Self-confidence comes from keeping small promises to yourself. Ed Mylett. Hello, welcome to Choose to Rise. I'm so grateful you've decided to push play today and for listening in on this one. Today, we're going to talk about building self-confidence in a new way that we haven't talked about before. And I'm really excited about this. And this quote that I heard from Ed Mylett when he was talking to someone on his podcast really struck me. And I paused, I found a sticky note, and I wrote this quote down because it really just resonated with me. Self-confidence comes from keeping small promises to yourself. A lot of times we feel like, confidence comes from showing how we show up in the world and what kind of things we can accomplish and what kinds of things we do and the results that we get, right? Like what we look like, how we feel, those kinds of things. But really, self-confidence really comes from the little things that you do over time and the promises that you keep to yourself. Not even like the big promises, like I'm going to work out every day, but like the small promises to yourself, like I'm going to stay motivated. I'm going to have integrity about how I show up in this world. And so today I want to talk a little bit more about how we can show up that way, how we can keep promises to ourselves. So one of the values that's in my life, and by saying a value, it's something that I show up and I do, not just something I talk about. An ideal is something that you say that you want. A value is something that you actually live out. And so, integrity is one of my values. Accomplishments is kind of one of my things as an Enneagram 3, but really just showing up and doing what I say I'm going to do, that kind of integrity piece is something that I really value in my life. It's something that I notice in other people. And one of the things that breaks trust with me with other people is when they don't necessarily have that integrity or they don't show up like they say they're going to show up. It's not a value for them. And so I take a lot of pride in the accomplishments that I have, but I also take a lot of pride in the integrity that I have, that I show up in the outside world, and that I have integrity of myself, and that I keep promises to myself. And it wasn't always this way, right? Yes, I've always valued, showing up and doing what I say I'm going to do, but I haven't always, stuck with things. I haven't always kept the promises to myself. In fact, as an Enneagram 3, and many of you might relate to this, is that, when you feel like you might not do it, you kind of have that little doubt and that fear in you, you often, as a 3, start to just not do it. You would rather not do it and not fail than put it all out there and not accomplish it. So as an Enneagram 3, this really gets to be super important in, taking pride in your accomplishments, but also, keeping that integrity of doing it anyway, even when you feel like you might fail at it, and just keeping those small promises to yourself, because your confidence is definitely going to go down if you are breaking promises to yourself. And your confidence definitely goes down when you don't follow through with things. So when I say that I'm going to do something like work out every day or eat better foods or, really show up in a positive way for my family and my friends, I need to do that, or I'm lacking self-integrity and I'm not fulfilling that in my life. So that's one of the reasons that I love coaching so much, because it's really just being a light to other people. It's holding myself more accountable by putting that level of accountability on myself, for lack of a better word, I guess, by signing up and being a coach and putting that label on me. I'm kind of leveling myself up in a way so that I know that I'm going to hold myself accountable. I could just be just reworking on a self-care journey and not showing up. And that really it doesn't allow me to, or does allow me to just kind of fade into the background. But when I say I'm going to do something and I put it out there to other people, it helps me keep my word to myself and to the others around me. So imagine how much more I would accomplish if I really put everything out there and I stuck to it, and other people held me accountable too, which is why I love the team so much, because they hold me accountable to things. They ask me where I'm at and where I'm showing up in this world, and they hold me accountable. So if I had to, break this pattern going forward of not showing up in certain areas. And I want a different result, I need to look for the patterns that silently develop over time and that like really start to kind of keep you from living that life of integrity. So like this whole COVID thing, for example, in my life, I was getting up every single morning at 5:00, getting my Bible reading in, getting my devotion and journal done before my workout. Well, then, my husband had to get to work in the morning with school happening. But then when COVID hit, all of that stuff changed in our world, and he didn't have to be getting up and going to work anymore. And I could get other things done. I could sleep in a little bit more, or I didn't necessarily get my morning routine done. And so now like things have just kind of filtered away. And so now I'm getting back up. I'm taking a stand and saying, I'm going to get back to my confidence building activities where I have my solid routine in the morning and I'm getting things done. The cycle kind of develops where if you don't keep your word, then guilt and negative voices get into your head, and you start telling you that you failed, or that you can't even do this anyway, or you said you were going to do it, but you didn't. And all of this stuff kind of creeps in, and like all of a sudden you're just kind of back to this bottom down here of square one. So I didn't want to keep breaking promises to myself. I don't want to feel this way. And so I knew I need to get better. Right. And so the only person that can do that is me. And if I'm going to, focus on the better version of me, I need to start keeping the promises to myself. I need to change my inner dialogue in my head that's going to keep me on check. I need to let go of procrastination. And I need to really just focus in on getting things done. So procrastination is fear taking over to keep me safe, especially as a 3. And whether or not it's perceived fear, real or not, my body's instinct is to keep me safe and to kind of like keep me away from that situation where I might be hurt. And as an Enneagram 3, like failing is a hurtful thing. So I often just procrastinate a project or procrastinate things and to just avoid them. And then, so now I get to the end of the month and my achiever side of me really wants to still hit my goals, really still wants me to do well. And so then I feel like I'm lost, or that I'm behind, and that doesn't feel good either. Have any of you ever, can you like nod your head or like give me a love, shoot me a message if like this has been you too, because I know I'm not alone here, but it's definitely something that I continue to have to work through. And I want to continue to build that self-integrity and kind of like work past that struggle that I have, especially as an Enneagram 3, and just keep going in the process. Like starting and stopping is a hard thing to do. And so when you can just keep going, you're going to can continue that momentum with things, and you're going to continue to live in the self-integrity, and it's going to work for you instead of against you. So when I started to like realize this, I started to figure out like, why am I feeling so blah in the morning, or why am I not as confident, or why am I shying away and procrastinating things? Like I'm more self-aware now than I used to be when I started this journey a long time ago. And I really had to look at my schedule and understand that like, yeah, I'm not showing up in the places that I said I'm going to, but I know if I want to keep promises to myself, I need to leave them. I need to get things back on my calendar. I need to get things back into my schedule. And I need to set the reminders on my phone and in my life, and kind of show up for the people and say, hey guys, hold me accountable to this. I'm going to start back small. I'm going to start simple. I'm going to go back to my attainable goals. I'm getting back in the morning this whole week so far. I've been back in the morning with a new devotional. Sometimes I just think something a little new, a little fresh. So I started a new devotional for 100 days. And I'm starting with that. I'm starting with my journaling again. And it feels really good. I'm drinking my go-go juice in the morning. I'm getting some good podcasts in the day. And I'm doing all of that before I get my workout in. And so that it just keeps me motivated and gets me started on the right foot, and then things just progress throughout the rest of the day. And I've already seen like how my energy changes throughout the day, and how my mindset is completely different when I start and keep going and build that self-confidence right away from the beginning, and don't break those promises. Because as soon as you start breaking those promises, even the little ones, like I'm going to get up early and work out, or I'm going to get up and do my devotional in the morning. Like seriously guys, my devotional takes me like 5 minutes. So why was I not doing it? Right? And so building that self-confidence back up, because it's all the little things in life that add up to the big things. And so it's all the decisions that you make in a day that create your reality. So what is it that you're doing that you need to do more of, or that you need to start working into your day, or having someone help hold you accountable to? Those are going to be the things that are going to help you the most. Even like simple setting tasks and reminders in your calendar to help keep you in line. I know that when I first came home to work my job full time here, my coaching job here at home, home and gave up the school life, that I needed to set reminders in my calendar that kind of show up as little tags on my computer, and they just pop up, or like even text things. I still have little alarms that go off on my phone that tell me that I'm enough, that tell me that I'm a good leader, that tell me, I'm a good mom. Like whatever the affirmations are that you need to hear all the time, or the schedule that you need to keep, set those things up and set yourself up for success with those things. So like here, for example, if you need to drink more water, maybe you put a timer on your phone for every hour and a half, you're going to sit down and drink a whole bunch of water, or that you're going to have, you're going to drink every 15 minutes, or that might get annoying, but like whatever it might be, like you need to be able to have those reminders set in your day to do things. I used to have a watch that, an activity watch that would buzz every 50 minutes that I was sitting. And so it reminded me to get up and move, because that's so important with our systems that have our blood flow going. So tasks and reminders on your calendar, on your phone, on whatever device that you're using to help keep you going are going to be able to help you be more successful. On the weekends, it's sometimes hard to stick to a regular schedule, but like scheduling in all the things that need to get done, like, cleaning and grocery shopping and laundry and all the things that you need to get accomplished, put them on the schedule, and that will help you out, and put them on your calendar and get them scheduled in to make it go. Making excuse to not keep promises to yourself will only make things worse. So if you say that you're going to get up and do something in the morning, get up and do it. If you have an accountability buddy, hold your accountability buddy to it. I used to be the only one in the morning that would get up and work out. And it was hard. Like I knew that I needed to have somebody to check in with. And so I plugged into this community of women who were positive and showed up and noticed when I didn't show up. And so they were always tagging me in posts if I wasn't there, or I was late with something, or maybe I forgot to post it. And then when my husband started working out with me, that was so awesome too. And but it can also work the other way. Like I said earlier, when he doesn't have to get up as early in the morning, he's less motivated to get up right away. And so I have to force myself to get up and go if I'm going to do it right away, or be okay with getting something else accomplished and getting my workout in later. But just knowing that, holding yourself accountable and having somebody with you that's going to be able to hold yourself accountable, it's going to help you get farther and keep those promises to yourself. So just telling yourself that you're busy isn't good enough. Like you need to be able to have a reason why you have to move things around your schedule if that's what you're needing to do. And so really, focus on what you want to accomplish, why you want to accomplish it, and set it in your schedule and just get it done. So the last one I want to share with you is that sometimes you just have to learn to say no to doing one more thing. This is something that I really had to learn hard, in that I was a yes woman in all the wrong ways. I said yes to everyone else but me. And then myself got on the bottom of the to-do list, got on the bottom of the care list, and I just never got crossed off the list. I never was taking care of me. And so I was burning out in all areas of life. And that wasn't fair to the people I worked with. It wasn't fair to my family, especially wasn't fair to my family, because they were also on the bottom of the list. I put work ahead of everything, and that doesn't feel good. And so when you really learn how to say no to certain things, like getting to work on time proved to be the hardest thing I knew what to do, because I had so much to get done. But always, trying to do one more thing in the morning before going to work, or then having to do one more thing before I went home from work, or I would write out a to-do list of all the things for work that I needed to get done when I got home. And it just seemed like I was constantly running in the other direction and never really catching up. So it definitely doesn't feel good to be rushed. It doesn't feel good to never really accomplishing anything, or feeling you're accomplishing anything, because the list never gets shorter. But when you can keep small promises to yourself, that can give you the evidence that you need that you can do things. And persistence is going to help you, release that guilt, and it's going to help you find more clarity in who you are in yourself. And then also just knowing that you don't have to say yes to everything, so your list doesn't always have to get bigger and bigger all the time. So definitely have a new clarity about myself, about who I am, about what it is that I really want to achieve. I am more confident in who I am now because I've learned to say yes to the right things to keep me going and give me energy, and to the right people in my life that help me stay accountable and keep doing the things that I need to do. And I'm not perfect, and there are days where I just can't do all the things on my list, even if it's been streamlined. And I promised to myself that I would accomplish, but that's all okay. I'm still learning. I'm still adjusting. I'm not perfect. I'm a broken person in a broken world. And we're just doing the best that we can with the information that we have at the time. So things unexpectedly will come up. You can't control that. But you can really kind of, if it's something that you can control, put it someplace else in your schedule that and kind of plan it out for some other time. I know I'm really working on releasing guilt that comes up for not fulfilling promises to myself, but I'm really getting a heck of a lot better at fulfilling those promises. And when I start to, because I'm more aware and because I start to feel like things are a little off, I can analyze what's going on in my life now, and I can keep working on getting back to where I want to be and back to what I know feels best. So the purpose is not to maintain a perfect record, because that's super unrealistic, but it is a chance for you to keep the commitments to yourself, because you know you're better for it, and you can serve people better for it, and you can love people better because you're showing up more confidently in life, because you're able to achieve the things that you want to achieve. And I'm not going to say I'm going to do something and then not do it. So I really want to make sure that if I'm going to say yes to something, that it's something that matches my values, matches my schedule, and can be done without a lot of stress in my life. So I hope that some of these things are resonating with you. I hope that you're able to find confidence in yourself and be a stronger individual because you've kept your word to yourself and to others. It sounds easier than it is, but when you can, text a friend and let her know that you're going to do this and do you want to check in with her, or you can join our team and be a part of a group of women who value self-care, and really making that the first on your list and teaching you how to fill your cup and serve with the overflow. It's really important. And so if you are looking for something like that, jump in and ask questions, shoot me an email, go to my website, choosetoriseup.com, and let's get connected. And then, the best thing I want to kind of leave you with here is like, how would you define self-integrity? The best way to describe self-integrity for myself is by using the synonyms for integrity, like honor and truthfulness. Like, are you honoring yourself and keeping your word when you promise to do something just for you? Are you focused in on your self-care? Are you showing up with your self-confidence by keeping those small promises to yourself? Are you telling the truth to yourself when you promise to not excessively do something? Are you keeping the promise to yourself when you say that you're going to do something or not going to do something? You have to kind of change your perspective a little bit sometimes of what that really means and what is graceful and what is going to be working for you in your life. So establish some boundaries, get your greater sense of self-integrity. Stop canceling plans and things because you feel like you might fail at them. Stop saying yes to things because you just want to look good in other people's eyes, and really focus on who you are, what you want to be, and understand that no matter what's happening in life, if you are just taking care of yourself and the small people around you, you're going to live more confidently. So say yes to the things that are helpful to you and are not hindering to you, and that make you feel alive. Self-confidence comes from keeping the small promises to yourself on a daily basis. And I hope that you're able to do that. And that, me showing up here helps you and encourages you. And if you have questions or you want to connect of any sort of way, shoot me an email at choosetoriseup@gmail.com. Let's get connected. If you love the show, please share it with other people. Let them know about it. And I hope and pray that I will see you back here every time I show up. I will here in July. I'm finishing up every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And as we move into August and beyond, I'm just going to have a Friday show. So if you're used to showing up on Monday and Wednesday and have me in your ear, I'm just going to be popping in on Fridays. I think it's going to be a better bet for my family. It's going to be a better gig for you. And then I'm going to be able to bring you better content as we continue to go through here. So if you're used to having a Monday, Wednesday, Friday show, just know that I'm going to be showing up every Friday from here out in August, and that I really appreciate you. And if you have any topics or any subjects or anything that, any feedback for me that you would like to share, I would greatly appreciate all of that. You can send it to choosetoriseup@gmail.com, and I can't wait to hear from you. Have a great day, everyone, and I will see you here again next time.